Welcome to my channel, Super Genius Chronicles. I joke that I'm a jack of all trades, master of two, those two being engineering and problem solving. Decades doing this. I've been doing video games, hardware, software, and more. Finally got my act together, been too busy, and I know it's about time. So I hope you enjoy this video. All right, as many of you are probably aware, I've been doing some development and other things in electrical products and things like Raspberry Pis, building boards and stuff like that for decades. And so I kind of wanted to show you a kind of inexpensive product to hook up to my Raspberry Pis together, my Windows machine on this desktop. So we'll go ahead and flip over to this. And there's a couple of items that I just purchased. And this was very inexpensive on Amazon. Let you know the prices at the end of the video, and I'll post them on the description. This was around $40. It's really interesting because, and I'll open this up and show you, but this Real HD 5-port 2.5 Gigabit Ethernet switch. But what it has on it is an SFP transceiver to put 10 gigabits. And since my network here is 10 gigabits, 5 gigabits coming in, but 10 gigabits internally, any device that has 2.5 gigabits should be able to leverage this. And I'm not even sure if some Raspberry Pis have that. They may have Raspberry Pi 5 sitting over here. Check that out. I do have a speed test example up that I'll eventually get to, but let's kind of open this up and then go forward. So I'm, putting this inside here and we can hook this up in my systems. So, packaging here, wrapping. I also bought things cat eats that were kind of inexpensive so that I can hook them up. It might be overkill, but good for long-term readability. And so here is the device. Wow, it's pretty small, a little bit smaller than I was expecting it to be. And of course, it comes with a power supply in here. Take out two items. And then I will temporarily plug this in on here on the desktop. This is the packaging for the little device. You can see there's a power supply there. And on this side, you can see there's 5 ports. So the beauty of it is for $40 or under $50, this whole thing, it has an SFP port on there, which can feed the devices there. So that's the SFP and can feed these devices, which is really nice. So I can hook up multiple of my Raspberry Pi sitting on my desktop TVM switch. And so in reality, and we'll open up this part, which is an SFP that I got for, I think this was around $40 as well. I'll put the prices in there just to make sure. And so this is the SFP device that goes from an SFP to an RJ45. And so I'll hook one of those Cat 8 cables up to this and then route it into my 10 gigabit switch. And so really in general, slide this in there, upside down, I guess. Yeah, slid it in. So now I have that 10 gigabit. I'll kind of just open this up, this package. It's all shrink wrapped and shrink wrapped. That's another launch cable, so I was taking those. And so these cables all run to see the speed we get here. One of the things I can do for the speed test is I can hook up the Ethernet to my Mac, which does have a 10 gigabit connection. I do have some 5 gig USB drives that I will do as part of the second video where I'll plug it into one of these systems. At least the NAS has the ability. Actually, the NAS already has 2.5 gigabits, but plugging the other part of that in. So I'll kind of plug this in here for one side of that. And I will route that back to my 10 gigabit switch, which is up underneath the desk. This is first. Move this in there. If you can give this video a like to help with the YouTube algorithm, that would be greatly appreciated. And please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for more great content from me. So I'm just plugging this router in. It's kind of underneath this desk here that I'm working on. And so we'll unwind that. This. Plug this into the power side of things, which happens to be on the back or front. I guess that is the back side of it. And we'll plug this in. Okay, so now I'm going to take one of the cords that's hooked up to the Raspberry Pi. I got that clicked in. It does look like it's on. You can see the power there. And let's just make sure that this works on the Raspberry Pi. All right, so you can see we have a speed test here. And this is off the Windows version. See if I switch over to desktop, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see the output on Linux device. So, okay, we can see that it is actually communicating, with the light on. You can see this, and so Linux device probably isn't hitting much right now. So I'm going to temporarily hook this guy up, this to my speed test. This handles 2.5 gigabits. I do not know that the Windows box that this is being run from uses 2.5 or only 1.5 gig. I suspect it's only 1.5 gig. So I'll connect this to make sure we still have internet access or network access. So I'll connect this to this PC. Swapping out for PC here. All right. So now that that is hooked up to that, we'll go over here, make sure this speed test still works here. And so seems to be working. So it's connecting to my Macintosh over 10G network, but this particular device only has a 1G network Ethernet connection, but it works. Okay, so this little device does work. I will do a second half of this video, record some more information once I can get a 2.5 or a 5 gig connection set up. All right, and continuing, I'm going to actually be showing these 5G Ugreen USB-C to Ethernet adapters, and they supposedly will do up to 5 gigabits. I'm going to plug it into a regular USB-C 2.0 port, and hopefully we can get at least 2.5. Hopefully that'll work. I'm also going to plug it into another NAS drive of mine to see if the speed works there or speeds up the speed over the local Ethernet. So this is the Ugreen item, and I already could have unboxed one of these already, but this is a secondary one. And so let's contain some. All right, so here's what comes inside the box, basically. The Ugreen thing itself, the instruction manual, of course. It says it works on Windows and Mac. I was not able to get it to work in the past. I'm not sure why. It might not be compatible with Windows 11. So that's about what we're about to find out here. So this is the Ugreen Ethernet adapter for the USB to on this end. And so I'm going to plug this in and see what kind of speed, if this will even recognize this device. All right, what I'm going to attempt to do, and see if this works, to actually put this adapter on there and go to a USB-C 2 port. You can see there's the Ethernet connection. So let's see what happens. Well, it did recognize the device. I heard the beep. All right. Connect this up as a US. Let's see, green lights on there. We can check our settings here. Network devices, working internet, Wi-Fi, let's turn that off. Ethernet is 4 connected, public network. See, yes. seems to be there. Maybe usage through the photos. That may be disconnected port. Let's see here. Two maybe. Okay. Well, let's just go try this and start to see what happens. Yeah, that is getting the 2.5 megabits. Yay, it works. All right. Love it. It is actually working through that little tiny device that I had shown you. And look at that. Oh, wait a minute, 2.4 megabits. That's long. It should be 2.5 gigabits. That's not necessarily what Ethernet we're using. Hopefully it's not the Wi-Fi. All right, looking at my settings here, I think it's Ethernet 4 is the Realtek USB Ethernet controller. And I was running through Ethernet 2, which is not even connected. So I don't know how that was working unless I'm doing the Bluetooth connection. Let's see what happens now. I'm still saying the one that's going. The only one that's connected is the USB-C. Oh, maybe that's because I'm going to connect to anything else. Two, and Wi-Fi just to make sure. Let's turn the Bluetooth off just to make sure. There's again the 2.5 megabits. Quite interesting. I hooked it up to a USB-C port. The download speed's now 24 megabits. The upload seems to be about what I should expect, 2,500 for that device. So it is somewhat working. This is what the USB speed is, possibly. That just seems odd that is that low. The upload is about what I would expect with this device, 2,500 megabits, which is 2.5 gigabits. This is a little surprising. Not sure if maybe something's going on the Mac. It's slowing that down. Check that. And it turns out that Ugreen has some drivers that probably need to be updated. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's downloading. It is downloading at a slower speed, though. You can kind of see that it's not bad, but we'll see how it goes. I just installed the Realtek drivers. That seemed to help a little bit. I'm guessing these Ugreen drivers probably work better, so I just downloaded those. Realtek drivers, we could probably go see what it's up to now. Oh, even worse. Okay, oh well, I guess it is downloading, so I can't. Well, it's downloading at these slow speeds too. Having something downloading and pause the video until it's just. All right, finished downloading, so let's go here and open the driver. Windows 11, install the driver. Hopefully this will fix the issues with it, but you never know, it could be to USB-C 2.0 port, and I think that means a 3.1 Gen 2 port can really be effective, but we'll see. All right, let's see what happens. Let's speed this process up and cut some of this out in the video for sure. Installing driver. Hopefully this is not an endless loop. So now should be okay. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look at that. 2,500 megabits per second just by installing the driver. Woo-hoo! We did it. All right. So in general, this is great because now we have the drivers installing and the Libre speed. I will back forward to that. You can see there that it was 2,525, close to 2,500 megabits a second. And it does work on a USB-C 2.0. So not bad job, Ugreen. Biggest issue, I think, was, here's the connection with it. It was plugged into a USB-C port with directly now. Instead of the USB-C 2.0, I changed the camera over there. So this is actually directly into a USB-C port, 2,500 megabits, because I assume that's not a super speed one. I do have a SAS NAS drive, and I'm going to plug this other one into there, which should give it 5 megabits. So it does actually get 2,400 megabits through this real HD thing, and this is connected to a 10 gigabit internal switch and 10 gigabits directly to my Mac Studio. So yeah, good job. This was pretty good. For the price, these things are really inexpensive right now, too, and I'll mention the price here. All right, so the bounce back and forth with the prices are now available. And I think this Realtek Real HD 5 port 2.5 gigabit, 0.5 gigabit Ethernet switch with a SFP port on that. That is $37.99. And then the SFP part itself, in order to get to the 10 gigabit connection, is getting a little warm. Whoa, that's warm. Okay, well, hopefully that lasts. That was $29.95. This part right here that's in here. And then these Ugreens are currently on sale, or not on sale, but $34.99. So for $102, these three things here, not this extra one here, that would be more, $34. But this parts right here were basically $102 to get this extended 2.5 gig switch with an SFP. And what's great about this is if I ever want to upgrade, I can just, have another SFP device like this that has 10 gigabit ports, and they're getting less and less expensive to do this with a switch. And a lot of them actually don't even come with SFP ports. They come with direct connection cables. But this is kind of good for now for what I wanted to use it for my HDMI switch. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be making much more of these videos as I go along, setting up certain things. I may do some OBS videos. Possibly there's plenty of them out there, but I set up OBS in my little studio here, and this is my kind of unboxing station, if you will. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.